Hey guys, welcome back to another video on Solo Leveling Arise, Black Thunder here. So today's topic will be the most important thing, like how you should choose a unit, whether you should go for it or not, like summon or skip, and how to determine like if it is a good unit or will be a good unit in future or it will be a bait unit or a mid unit. So this video will consist of a lot of yapping, but I'll tell you all of my experience that I got by 1 year playing this game. But before that, you have to like decide what mode you are choosing to like get best in. Is it BOT? You want to get less score in there, or you want to like do high scores or higher age count in guild wars, or you want to be number one in POD in your server for the most rewards. And the most important thing according to me is the workshop, which I aim for personally. That's why I make the teams of the hunters according to that. So you have to first decide that which mode you are aiming for. In my opinion, the most important mode is workshop because it gives you so much resources and the bragging rights if you have like top 1k. If you come at the story mode, so you only need one element team A5, a breaker support and a DPS of that element, and you can clear everything in story mode, so don't worry about that. And trophies are also important because you get weekly essence depending on how much trophies you have. You can see here. That's why you need a strong team so you can easily farm the trophies from dungeons, instance, and story mode and BOT trials too. So now let's finally see the hunters. Like I'll show you both my main account and the F2P account so you can decide better. But first let me show you the workshop, like how to build the teams like I did in my F2P account. So you can see here all 5 elements, it's a joke. But here in the normal mode you can see like 3 elements are being added, light being the new. So it can be a foreshadowing that light might become the most OP team in the game. So you never know. But the common element you can see here is the wind. So now let's go to the other workshop. So here you can see like light and fire. So you need one fire team too. And if you see the yogurt, so again there is wind. So your account needs only wind and fire team. That's all. You can clear every workshop like I did in my F2P account. So now let's finally see the hunters. Like I said 4 times to show them, and now I'm showing them. So I don't have the fire team sadly in there. Like you can see my fire team is struggling. I have A4 Kanai and A2 or A3 Gina, A2 Gina and A3 SL you can see. So I'm struggling with the fire team. Like it's the most OP team in GV and POD. And for this bitch Ruka also you need fire team because dark team sucks and we need real OP units for that too. So I'll show you the water team and the light team since they are real good. So here you can see like in the passives I'll show you now. So here closely. So if we see the passives, you need to develop a habit of reading the passives that I mentioned earlier too. So here you can see 10 stacks of elemental weakness for more water damage dealing. Like all other passives are related to her till A3. You can see more damage deal and break effectiveness and other things, like she performs better in workshop too. But the most important thing is here, she increases defense. I'll tell you why that is important in later. So now you can see here like most of the passives are related to her, but this elemental weakness stacks the debuff on the boss and defense increase. Keep that in mind. Now see Malin's buffs. So you can see here she increases attack and defense, and she also like increases the crit rate, crit hit damage of the hunters during the team modes. And you can see here she also increases the core attack. So keep that in mind too, because like I said, I'll tell you why it is so important. And she also here increases the defense, and that even increases as you go like higher passives A4 or A5. So you can understand she's a really great support. Now we'll see like why these two units are important basically for Vetcha, because she's a core attacking unit. So you can see like Malin is buffing her core attack and she needs defense. So Sioran is buffing her defense, Malin is buffing her defense, and she herself is buffing her own defense if you have her high passives. So that's why this is the perfect team which is buffing each other and is scaling off each other. So now let's see the Gunhee. Though Gunhee is kind of a selfish breaker, he doesn't do much, but his passives increase the light damage dealt for all the hunters, like his basic skill too also. So he's kind of a buffer, not too great, but still you get the point. Like if Liu Zhang might be a new breaker of the light, so he might be like directly in sync with Thomas. And here also like Min is not too great as a light support, though he is kind of a universal. Only we are using him for the A5 passive. Like when you use the ultimate, so the next ultimate will get 50% additional damage increase. So if you use both of them with Thomas, so he's getting more like defense and core attack damage, and also helps in increased damage dealt while doing his ultimate. So this was the light team, how they like function together in sync. Now this is my F2P account, and you can see like Gina is chilling in the bag with her bag, and there is a like small keychain of Labubu. Lol. So now let me show you like the ritual, the logins obviously, and now I'll show you my hunters. Like here also I managed to clear all the workshops like hard mode demos and normal yogurt. So you can see here only my wind team is A5 and fire team A5, and you can see all of these are petty losses. So these two teams cover everything, story mode, BOT trials, workshop, POD, BOT, everything. I'll just like give them the weapons because I was doing like story mode, the expert mode, so I gave them to the hunters, the supports which I was using. So we'll start with the fire team like we were doing earlier in the main account, and you can see Gina is also there. So first let's start with SL, the breaker. And now I'll tell you like why the fire team is the most OP in the game, because they're so in synergy with each other. Like you can see here, the prey of the weak stacks, the debuff you put on the boss, it is so OP that it increases the fire damage dealt and also various other buffs. And at A5 you can stack them about 100, so that is 30% more damage dealt and fire damage increase. And not to mention, she also increases the defense penetration of the whole team, because the fire team relies on defense penetration. And here you can see the Gina buffs, like she increases the attack of the team and defense penetration of the team. So you can like stop at A4, because A5 passive is like selfish, it increases the damage of herself. So if you need a good buffer, so just like push her to A4 and that's it, she is good to go. At that she will provide defense penetration and attack increase and fire damage dealt increase to the whole team, because you know that all of the fire team is attack scaling, so she is really great. Now combine all of the buffs of SL, like Prey of the Weak and defense penetration, and the buffs of Gina, like attack increase, fire damage dealt increase, and defense penetration, and put them on Kanai along with her massive buffs. Like you can see, she has ton of crit, and A5 is 77% attack increase. That's huge. The Sixth Sense buff, if I remember correctly. So that's why the fire team is too OP in POD. Like you can do 50 billion easy run. So that's why you have to make a team which synergizes with each other and buffs each other. So now let's see the win team. You can see here like mainly the go-to stacks are pretty selfish because he's kind of a DPS breaker. But one thing good is when you put the enemy into the break state, so this debuff, like you can see, duration is infinite, so you can deal more damage. And one of the good buffs is like A4 passive. When you put the hunter into the third slot, like the DPS, it will deal more damage dealt. Only thing is it will like increase the damage taken too, but it doesn't matter since Lenart is defense scaling. And now let's see the support unit, because support are really important. You should never ignore them. Coming from the guy who always used to ignore the supports and suffered in the main account for a lot of time. So you can see here she increases the crit rate, crit hit damage, damage increase, and also her weapon is like whenever you hit the Hansemi skills, the damage taken increases for the boss. And you can see just for Leonard they added the A5 passive. She increases now defense too. Otherwise it used to be just attack for Mire, but they added defense too just for like selling Leonard. So Nut Marble being Nut Marble. So combine the passives of Goto, like damage increase for the third spot and the break effectiveness, damage increase for infinite duration, and Hansemi defense increase and damage dealt increase, and put them on Leonard with his OP buffs. You already have seen my normal yogurt videos, the walkthroughs. So that's why you have to like build a team. It should be same element and you should read the passives, whether they are going with the DPS, like the breaker and the support, are they buffing the DPS unit or not. That will give you the best results. Like you can see, water team buffing defense and core attack of Vetcha, and light team buffing the light damage and core attack and defense of Thomas, and similarly fire, the attack increase, defense penetration and fire damage dealt, and similarly defense increase and damage dealt increase for Leonard. So this was my main aim, because I see many players going for the random units and they don't function together, so they have a hard time clear any content, because you need to understand how the units work and their passives. Because if the stats and the buffs that your hunters are getting are not good, or they don't function together properly, even if you meet the power requirement, you won't be able to clear the content. That's the hard truth. So hope this guide helps you like make better units for your account, and keep on growing more stronger, and keep leveling up. And I'll see you next time. Till then, take care. And if you're new to the channel, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, and share, and also hit that notification bell. And I'll see you next time. Till then, take care.